Former footballer found guilty of murdering 2 children in Abesim. In business, no financial burden. Transport Minister rejects cost concerns over KIA renaming. And on the international front, Reddit fined $20 million in UK over children's data failures.
Details of these stories and many more. The jury in the trial of Richard Appiah, the former footballer who killed 2 children in Abesim in the Bono region and stored the remains of one in a fridge, has returned unanimous verdict of guilt of murder.
Richard Appiah is alleged to have murdered his stepbrother and 2 other children aged between 12 and 15 years. Following reports to the police on August 20, 2021, officers discovered the dismembered body of one of the victims stored in a fridge, while 2 other bodies were found in separate rooms in Appiah's residence. Further investigations led police to a cocoa farm in Abesim, where they unearthed intestines believed to belong to one of the victims. These remains were exhumed for forensic analysis. 2 blood-stained machetes were also retrieved from the scene.
The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Agnes Na Momo Olate, has disclosed that the baby stolen from Mamprobi Polyclinic was diagnosed with jaundice, an infection of umbilical cord.
She made this known during a visit to Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, where the infant is currently receiving treatment. The minister assured that the baby has responded well to treatment and will return for further medical review after discharge. She also reaffirmed her ministry's commitment to providing psychological support for the baby's mother as part of ongoing assistance efforts. The baby was stolen from the postnatal ward of Mamprobi Hospital on Tuesday, February 17, without the knowledge of the mother and health workers. Investigations led to the arrest of 33-year-old Latifa Salifu, a cloth seller in Accra, at the premises of Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, where she was found with a baby suspected to be the missing child. The suspect claimed she had delivered at the hospital and was discharged due to a lack of care. However, police investigations found no records to support her claim. She has since been remanded into police custody for 14 days by an Accra High Court as investigations continue. She is expected to reappear before the court on March 4, 2026.
For the cost involved is something very little. It's almost nothing because of health insurance. What the baby is suffering from, I think the doctors would have been, or they would be in the best position. But I'm a lay person. I was informed that baby had a bit of jaundice when he came, and then also there was an infection around the umbilical cord because it's not being taken care of during the period he was with the suspect. And so these are the only things I can tell you based on what reports I received from the doctors. But if there's any details, it's between the family and the hospital, and so I'll leave that much to the health workers too. This DNA thing, I don't know anything about it. And they haven't reported it to me personally, but I don't know if there's any doubt about the baby, and so I wouldn't go into this DNA conversation. But what I know is that the dad gave us a mark, a birthmark, and at the time he mentioned the birthmark, the baby's body was covered. And when we took off the clothes, we saw the birthmark there. And so for me, that is settled. If there's anything further to do in identifying them, the baby, I think that will be with the family.
The Deputy Health Minister, Grace Ayensu Dankwa, has announced plans to address the persistent no-bed syndrome in the Ghanaian hospitals, promising a comprehensive overhaul of emergency services and hospital infrastructure.
Speaking in Parliament on Tuesday, February 24, Dr. Ayensu Dankwa said the government will take decisive steps to improve patient care from CHPS compounds and health centers to major referral hospitals. She stressed the need to train staff, upgrade equipment, and strengthen ambulance services nationwide. We are retraining our emergency services staff. We are training the doctors and the staff. We are training the security personnel in the emergency rooms. We are even extending this into the ambulance service itself, Dr. Ayensu Dankwa said. She added that all ambulances will be fully equipped to enhance life-saving interventions. These patients could have probably been saved if we had the proper supplies in the ambulance. We are working diligently to avoid such needless deaths of any Ghanaian, she further stated, offering condolences to the family of the late victim. Her remarks follow the tragic death of 29-year-old Charles Emisa, an engineer at Promasido Ghana Limited, who died on February 6 after a hit-and-run accident at the Circle Overpass in Accra.
Mr. Speaker, the ambulance was there because of the proximity to the ambulance service. They got there on time and they did what was necessary. Mr. Speaker, the issue of no bed syndrome, unfortunately, is not a new issue. This issue has existed for so long, and unfortunately, we or the previous government was not able to fix it. Mr. Speaker, in this government, we will take a bold step. The John Dramani Mahama government is going to take a bold step to solve the problem of no bed syndrome. Mr. Speaker, we are going to retool the hospitals, starting from the CHIPS compound to the health centers, all the way up.
Now we move to the business desk, where the Minister of Transport and Joseph Boukari has dismissed concerns that government decision to revamp the country's main international airports to its former name, Accra International Airport, would place a heavy financial burden on the state.
Speaking at a press briefing on Tuesday, February 24, 2026, Nikwe explained that fears over cost are misplaced, noting that international aviation codes linked to Ghana have remained unchanged despite the name changes over the years. The Transport Minister concluded by emphasizing that reverting to Accra International Airport is primarily a symbolic and practical decision, not a financial burden.
It is our international airport, and we looked at the decree, and its main purpose was to set up a trust to take care of the families. And so we have gone the way to rename it its original name. There's no any legislation in naming airports in Ghana. The good news for us is that all these organizations that control aviation, since the name change of Accra to Kotoka, have not changed the country code. ACAO still maintains the country code DGAA. IATA and ACAO still maintain the country code ACC. So there's nothing to change at the international level. The only thing to change is the signages and the billboards that we have. But Kotoka, as a company, they already have the vendors who produce their letterheads on daily basis for them. So it's not a new contract. It's just a matter of Kotoka is now out. The same vendors who were doing their letterheads, their stamps, are the same companies to continue to now change. Just a removal of Kotoka and it will be Accra. So what will be the cost there? We are already renovating the airport. We are already doing construction of the airport to make it function properly. And some of those things would have been destroyed and rebranded. It's just a matter of the Kotoka out and the Accra in. So what will be the cost? Even though there will be some cost to it, but it is not that cost that somebody will care about. It is going to be a minimum because of the renovation. The costs involved will be very, 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 very small as compared to other airports that you have to deal international, regional, and national. Ours is just going to be our old vendors who print our letterheads, our stamps, and then they are the same people. And for now, it's just a matter of getting out Kotoka and replacing Accra. So those who talk about the cost, yes, they are right to ask, because this is taxpayers' money. How is it going to be used? I want to assure them that because of internal arrangements that have been made so far, it is not going to add any huge cost to the operation.
On a foreign front, a British privacy watchdog on Tuesday fined social media platform Reddit £14.47 million, that is 19.52 million US dollars, for using children's data unlawfully and potentially exposing them to harmful content.
The action comes as Britain considers tighter limits on children's use of social media, with governments worldwide citing concerns about mental health risks, cyberbullying, and exposure to harmful contents to justify new age restrictions and bans. The Information Commissioner's Office said Reddit did not check children's ages properly and therefore had no right to process their data. The watchdog said that although Reddit's terms of service prohibited children under 13 from using its platform, effective age checks were not in place until July 2025. The ICO estimated a large number of under 13s were using the platform. Children under 13 had their personal information collected and used in ways they could not understand, consent to, or control, UK Information Commissioner John Edwards said in a statement. That left them potentially exposed to content they should not have seen, Edwards said. The ICO also said Reddit had not carried out a data protection impact assessment before January 2025, covering the use of children's personal information, even though the platform allows users aged between 13 and 18. Reddit said in an emailed statement that it would appeal the ICO's decision. Reddit doesn't require users to share information about their identities, regardless of age, because we are deeply committed to their privacy and safety, the US-based social media firm said. The ICO's insistence that we collect more private information on every UK user is counterintuitive and at odds with our strong belief in our users' online privacy and safety. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's government launched a consultation earlier this year that includes banning social media for under 16s, restricting addictive design features, and tightening controls on smartphone use by young people. Governments in Australia, Spain, Greece, and Slovenia have moved towards restrictions, with platforms in Australia forced to remove millions of accounts after its under 16 ban came into effect late last year.
Away from the international front, we go straight to the weather center, bringing the weather and its update. The weather is brought to you in association with the Ghana Meteorological Agency from the MBN Weather Center. The impactful 24-hour updates. Early morning mist or fog patches are expected over the coast, forest, and mountainous areas, which may lead to reduced visibility between 2 kilometers and 8 kilometers. As the day progresses, dry and hazy conditions with varying sunshine intensity will prevail across most areas within the southern Ghana. However, there is a slight chance of localized rainfall over parts of the coastline and its inland areas from this late afternoon into the evening. Northern Ghana will experience varying intensity of dry and hazy conditions throughout the forecast period. Now, the temperatures for the next 24 hours: the coast a minimum of 25 degrees, a maximum of 34 degrees. Forest, minimum 24, maximum 37. Transition, 23 degrees minimum, maximum 37 degrees. Northern, 22 degrees minimum, maximum 39 degrees. Due to the dry conditions, the general public, especially in the transition belt and northern sector, is strongly advised to handle naked flames with extreme caution to prevent fire outbreaks. And that does it for the weather in this update from the MBN Weather Center in association with the Ghana Meteorological Agency. But before I take leave of you, let's take a second look at the headlines.
Former footballer found guilty of murdering 2 children in Abesim. In business, no financial burden. Transport Minister rejects cost concerns over KIA renaming. And on the international front, Reddit fined $20 million in UK over children's data failures.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. The news came to you live from the 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate on the MBN TV. My name once again is El Samuels. Coming up, we'll bring the sports update.